with me today. We're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh. Specific answer. They're learning quick. Can we Google it? Whatever. Okay. He's a quick study.
There's so many words I'm gonna say.
Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
I see a lot of just my friends vaping, and I see it like I hear about middle schoolers, high schoolers, elementary schoolers just vaping, and I just don't understand how such young people can get into such like an addictive substance, how they can just throw away time, money, health for what, nicotine? It really just doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like when I see my friends vaping and talking about how they spent this much money and how they've gone through this many vapes this week, just like really, it doesn't give me a positive outlook for them in the future if they can just get into such habits at such a young age.
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick, like the boss with a new footlong cookie. This might be my favorite sidekick ever. What?
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Find your passion. Find your people. Find your purpose. Find your superior.
Vaping has almost become like an obsession addiction. It's got to be where I know where it is. If I leave, I have to have it with me. I guess the term would be I'm jonesing for it, the nicotine out of it. Never do it. Never even try it, because once you try it, it's like an addiction, and it kind of takes over your personality, that type of addiction.
At Clyde Ironworks, every bite starts from scratch. Fried ravioli, golden and crisp. Onion rings, battered fresh and fried to perfection. Wood-fired...
Wait a minute. Where's Sweet All? It's in the lobby. Oh. He's just sitting there. Just doing Sweet All things. Yep.
And welcome to the 8th annual Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. Today's opening contest here at Westman Arena on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Superior will feature the visiting team on the scoreboard despite wearing white, the Saints from the College of St. Scholastica, and the home team in the dark sweaters will be Lawrence University. The Vikings, the home team on the scoreboard. They will be defending the goal to our left, and in goal for them today is Owen Carlson, a 6'2", 200-pound senior from Esco, Minnesota. At the other end, making his first appearance of the season, Caden Edstrom, a 5'9", 174-pound freshman from Fairplay, Colorado. So a pair of goaltenders in this one making their first appearances of the campaign. And we are underway here at Westman Arena in Superior. Lawrence winning the opening faceoff. The opening faceoff sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, Northern Wisconsin's Island Getaway. The puck is in the neutral zone now. On the right wing, it's just out of the reach of Vladimir Fadiv of Lawrence. Puck comes wrapped around behind the Lawrence goal now. Wyatt Wurst thought he held it in at the left point for St. Scholastica, but that will skip out to the neutral zone. And we will get a neutral zone face-off here. "30 seconds elapsed here in the opening period. No score between Lawrence and St. Scholastica in the opening game of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. Thank you for joining us here on Yellow Jacket TV, which is an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. I am John Garver. Happy to have you with us here on this Friday afternoon from Superior. Puck is behind the Lawrence goal right now. Centering attempt by Daniel Kroon of St. Scholastica doesn't come to the front of the goal. Lawrence clears that one ahead on the right wing. Valdez has it. He sends it rink wide on the left now for Ethan Look. Look for the Vikings, plays it back to the line. That one sneaks out into the neutral zone. Lawrence will regroup. Jaden Jensen, the team captain for the Vikings, dumps it down into the St. Scholastica zone. Edstrom out of his net. Feeds it up the left wing for Kroon. He's going to back it up for Emmett Wurst. Now behind the net, it's wrapped around to the right wing side. Tipped to the middle here by the Saints' Tyler Kennett. And that comes out into the neutral zone. Puck is going to be played back down into St. Scholastica territory. Kimball behind the goal, wraps her on the right side, but that's not going to come out. Eisenstark from the left point, a shot that misses wide of the mark. Long shot coming in from the right wing side this time by Logan Schwartzhoff. That'll be swallowed up and held on to by Edstrom, and the faceoff coming up here in the St. Scholastica zone. First of 4 games on the weekend here at Westman Arena. We'll talk more about the other contest coming up here later on today as the broadcast progresses this afternoon. Puck cleared out into the neutral zone, and Lawrence will regain control. Nicholas Townsend has it. Plays it over to Pochard on the right wing side. It comes up the boards and is tipped down into the Saints zone. They quickly play it to Declan Young on the right wing. He pushes that one into the middle now. Puck broken up right at the red line, and then Lawrence will dump it back into the St. Scholastica zone. Braden Junker behind the net takes a bump along the boards from Hunter Bill. Loose puck in the right wing corner now. Junker for St. Scholastica has his pass blocked. Kenan Riles for the Saints will clear that into the neutral zone, but the Vikings come right back on the attack with Vladimir Fadiv on the right wing. His shot from the circle hits the outside of the Saints net. In the right wing corner now, Riles battling for it, but coming away is Winkleman for Lawrence. He throws that one in front. Nobody really sure where that one was except for Edstrom, and he was able to get a glove down and trap that puck near the right post. And we'll have a face-off coming here in the St. Scholastica zone. 17:28 remaining here, first period. No score between St. Scholastica and Lawrence. If you missed us at the very beginning, Lawrence, the home team on the scoreboard, wearing the dark sweaters. Quick conversation at the scorer's table. Now we're back to live action here. Puck in the St. Scholastica zone. It comes to the line. Jensen holds it in at the right point. Now it's Hahn for St. Scholastica. Hahn behind his net. Ahead for Gunderson on the right wing. That's not going to leave the zone. Second attempt does, as the Vikings went to dump it deep, and it goes off of a Saints player now. At neutral ice, Jensen has it for Lawrence, and he'll fire that back down into the St. Scholastica zone. Starting up ice with it here. Axel Yalo-Yarvi turning it over in the neutral zone, and it's going to be driven back in by Carter Cloutier. Puck played up to the right point. The Vikings hold. Now it does skip out into the neutral zone. Eisenstark has it there, and he'll dump it in. It comes around behind the St. Scholastica net. Winkelman on the right wing plays that deep, but quickly back in transition now. St. Scholastica. Andrew coming to center, feeds Gunderson on the right wing. His pass hits a skate. It caroms back into the neutral zone now, and Lawrence back the other direction. Winkelman across the line. Holds onto it at the top of the right circle. Now that's going to be broken up and cleared. In the neutral zone, Pochard for Lawrence dumps it down into the St. Scholastica zone. Now centering feed from the left side, broken up here by Wyatt Worst, and it's a 2-on-1 for St. Scholastica. Panzer, right circle, gives it to Worst, who is going to the net, and that'll be stopped and covered up by Lawrence goaltender Owen Carlson. As Panzer's pass was tipped by a Lawrence defender. And Worst, who was in good shooting position, actually had to delay just a bit and was in a little too tight, allowing Carlson to make the save, his first of the game. Wyatt Worst has it now for St. Scholastica. Mishandles on the left wing. Vikings go to clear. It gets up to the line. Panzer holds it in at the left point and sends it deep. Behind the Lawrence net, Pochard sends it around the left wing side, and that's going to be cleared ahead to center. It's going to come all the way down. Beaumont giving chase, but Wyatt Worst will win that foot race. And we'll have an icing call here on Lawrence. A very slow St. Scholastica change. Now everything seems to be in order, and the face-off will be to the left of Owen Carlson, who's between the pipes here for Lawrence. The puck is wrapped up the right wing side. Comes around the boards. Saints lose the handle on that, and Ethan Johnson takes off back the other way for Lawrence. Saucers it over for Hayden Johnson. That's going to be broken up, and back the other way is Kroon. Daniel Kroon for St. Scholastica is poke checked at the line. Ethan Beaumont now back the other way. Passes ahead on the right wing. Hayden Johnson tips that down into the St. Scholastica zone. Big check in the right wing corner, causing the turnover now. The Saints have it. The Vikings have it. Brzezicki behind the net plays that one up top. Trischuk at the left point takes a shot that's going to go wide of the mark. Another big check in the offensive zone here by Lawrence, but the puck does come out to neutral ice. Coming for St. Scholastica, forces it back into Lawrence territory now. This is Jaden Jensen. He passes that one up the right wing. It's tipped in by Josh Denis. Comes behind the net now. St. Scholastica plays it up the right wing. Gunderson backs that one up. Yalo-Yarvi moves it up the left wing. It pops in the air. Lawrence will regain control here now. Winkelman across the line, right circle, fires, and that's going to go wide of the mark. Eisenstark at the left point, try to play it to the front of the net. Saints intercept and come back to center with it here. Hahn across the line, but that was offside by a mile, as getting in a step ahead of the play was Hunter Hansen. And that'll be a face-off coming here outside the Lawrence blue line. Good pace to this one here in the early going. Both teams with a little bit of giddy up in their step. Shots 1-1. Lawrence has had the territorial advantage through the first 5+ minutes. We have no score. The Vikings controlling the faceoff. Schwartzhoff sends that one ahead. Comes into the St. Scholastica zone. Hahn had it there. Passes that one up the middle for Emmett Worst, and he'll go high off the left wing glass to the neutral zone. The Vikings quickly play it back in. Yalo-Yarvi for St. Scholastica. Gets it ahead for McCarthy. McCarthy over to the right wing now. Feeds that one for Kennett. Ty Kennett pushes it back behind the Lawrence net. That one's not going to go any deeper, and Eisenstark back the other way for the Vikings. He crosses the line and dumps it down into St. Scholastica territory. That one isn't going to go any further. Now it comes all the way back down behind the net for Worst. Wyatt Worst passes that one up the middle. It's going to be broken up. Wyatt Worst has it again. Gives it over for McCarthy. Check that. It's Yellow Yarvey, excuse me. Pass up the middle for Emmett Worst now. Emmett Worst passes ahead for Kennett on the right wing. He tips it in. It comes right back out. Now McCarthy with a nice leave pass. Pejos picks it up. A long shot. That's going to go wide of the goal. Clearing attempt by Lawrence is going to be held in by St. Scholastica. Wyatt Worst at the right point. His pass is intercepted. And Ethan Look back the other way. Look sends it ahead. Cloutier across the line. He's got it on the right wing. It's going to be taken away from him, however. And now Declan Young picks up the loose puck and comes to center. Young across the Lawrence line. Sends it to the left wing corner. First one there. Trischuk has it for Lawrence. He passes that up the wing, but not out. Riles for St. Scholastica. Passes that one over to the right side. It gets away from Uvas Yarvey. Now Pejos at the left point, walks it down the boards, carries to the left circle, behind the net now, the right side, turns and fires, and that's going to be tipped over the top of the Lawrence goal. Now Beaumont on the right wing, gets it to neutral ice for Lawrence. Declan Young gets it back, now a steal. Back the other way quickly. This is Lawrence across the line, working it into the slot. Ethan Johnson loses the handle on the puck. Now back the other direction, 3-on-2 if they hurry. St. Scholastica. Declan Young up the right wing across the Lawrence line. Right circle, fires. That's deflected. And that's going to go up over the glass and out of play. 11:58 remaining here in this first period. St. Scholastica and Lawrence scoreless from Westman Arena in Superior. John Garver with you here for the opening game of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by our friends over at Subway. Game 2 tonight, 7:30 face-off, will feature the hosts from UW Superior against the University of Dubuque. In the neutral zone, the puck played across the St. Scholastica line. Saints will get it back to neutral, and it's going to be fired right back in by Evan Eisenstark. Puck's going to come around behind the St. Scholastica net. It gets cleared to center ice. And it's going to be dumped right back in. Now Kimball has it for St. Scholastica. Feeds Giroux on the right wing. He can't clear. It's going to be bounced in toward the goal. Knocked down there by Edstrom. Now Kimball has it again. He throws that one up the middle. It's going to hop the stick of the defense. That's going to come all the way down the ice. And we will have an icing call on St. Scholastica. Face-off will be in the St. Scholastica zone to the left of Edstrom. Controlled here by the Saints. Junker backhands it out into the neutral zone, but Cade DeWolf will dump her right back in for Lawrence. Puck comes around the net again. Yellow Yarvey to clear. That's not going to leave the zone. Comes back behind the St. Scholastica net. Coming for the Saints. Bounces off of a check now and carries it to center. Moves it ahead on the right wing. Comes over to Hunter Hansen, left circle. A shot and the save is made by Carlson. First really good scoring chance of the game right there goes to the Saints. Back the other direction on the attack. Valdez with a shot from the left wing. That's not going to go. Meanwhile, Yellow Yarvey sends it ahead at center for Gunderson. Now for Cumming on the right wing. Cumming back for Gunderson. He tried to chip it to the right corner. That's knocked down by a Lawrence defender. Jensen has it here for Lawrence. Passes it ahead. Trischuk moves it up the right wing out of the reach of Cloutier. And back the other direction now come the Saints with Hahn. Over for Hunter Hansen, left wing. He's going to backhand it deep. Kennett behind the goal. Comes out the left wing side. Went to throw that one down low. That's blocked. Jensen again for Lawrence. Passes that one back. Trischuk throws it ahead at center. Cloutier on the right wing. Gets it down into the St. Scholastica zone. From the right wing. Looks pass from the right circle, ends up in the left wing corner of the St. Scholastica zone. Now Axel Yalo-Yarvi comes back the other way. Moves that one ahead for Kennett, but he couldn't handle the pass. And quickly Beaumont back the other direction here for Lawrence. He's got it on the left wing. Leaves it down low for Ethan Johnson. Try to move it back to the left circle. Broke it up there, and Yalo-Yarvi with that long reach will poke it out into the neutral zone. On the right wing, Hayden Johnson for Lawrence. Got it down the boards partially. St. Scholastica breaking that one up. Now behind the net, this is Pejos for St. Scholastica as we pass the 11-minute mark of this first period. No score. Quickly back the other direction. Now Townsend for Lawrence. His pass broken up. McCarthy for St. Scholastica to Pejos. On the left wing, he pulls up at the hash marks. His centering pass is broken up by the defense. Townsend for Lawrence to clear, but not out. McCarthy feeds it over. The shot taken from the left circle by Uvis-Yarvi is going to miss wide on the short side. Vikings clear. Saints dump it right back in. Uvis-Yarvi on the left wing side has it poke checked off his stick. Lawrence regaining control now. Pochard passes that one ahead. Comes down into the St. Scholastica zone, right wing corner. Puck played back up to the right point. And Riles comes out with it here for the Saints. He'll weave all the way over to the right wing boards and dump it into the Lawrence zone. Behind the net, Jensen to clear. That's not going to go. Braden Junker here for St. Scholastica has it in the left corner. Passes it behind the net all the way around to the right side. Kimball takes a long shot, and the save is made by Carlson. Rebound up the middle. Junker holds it in at the left point and drives it back down behind the Lawrence net. Alexi Trischuk around the left wing. It's tipped to neutral ice. Junker regaining control here for St. Scholastica. He moves it ahead for Panzer. Pass is just out of his reach. And Trischuk will come back the other way. Now his pass is intercepted left or right circle rather. Panzer with a shot that misses wide of the goal. And back the other way quickly now. A 2-on-1 developing here for Lawrence. Centering pass tipped away by Edstrom. It was a nice job by Winkleman to feed that one out front, but Edstrom gets a stick on it and pokes it away from trouble. In the neutral zone now, St. Scholastica controls it. Kroon over for Cumming on the right wing. His pass out of the reach of Gunderson, who was going to the net. And Lawrence will quickly play that one back the other way. Across the St. Scholastica line, Cumming regains control for the Saints. Gives it to Hahn. Hahn up the right wing boards, gives it back to Cumming, who splits the D, comes in and takes the shot, and the save is made by Owen Carlson. He's going to hold on, and that's going to give us a face-off here in the Lawrence zone. Cumming showing a little bit of speed there as he was able to blow through the gap between the two defenders and get a point-blank opportunity, but Owen Carlson making the stop. Carlson with 5 saves so far in the game. Shots favoring the Saints, make that 6 saves, excuse me. Shots favoring St. Scholastica at 6-2. It was actually Lawrence that had the surge early. The first few minutes, they had a lot of ozone time. But since then, the Saints have slowly began to take things away from Lawrence and have a little more time in their offensive zone. And that's where the face-off will be to the left of goaltender Owen Carlson. 6:39 to play in a rapidly moving first period. St. Scholastica and Lawrence are scoreless from Westman Arena in Superior. I'm John Garber with you here for Game 1 of the 2025 Superior Showdown. Lawrence will control the faceoff. Pochard sends that one ahead on the right wing, taken there by Valdez and dumped into the St. Scholastica zone. Hahn blows a tire behind the net. Cumming picks up the loose puck. Feeds it for Yalo-Yarvi, who slides a pass onto the left wing. Hunter Hansen in the middle now. This is Hahn back to Hansen on the left wing. He gets around one man, loses the puck. Yalo-Yarvi pokes that one further down the boards. Left wing corner now, Lawrence zone. Puck still tied up, and now Yalo-Yarvi comes out with it. Pushes it right back into the traffic. And that's going to be a penalty on St. Scholastica. They're going to get Gunderson for either a cross-check or a check from behind. Cross-checking indeed will be the call. That vulnerable position when you're just a couple feet away from the boards. And the result will be a power play for Lawrence at 14:05 of the first period. Gunderson for a cross-check. Lawrence's power play comes into the game at 12.9%. St. Scholastica has struggled on the penalty kill. 75% is their penalty killing percentage. Lawrence controlling the face-off. Trischuk at the right point. Feeds it across for Beaumont. Back to Trischuk. Over to the left wing boards. Beaumont gives it down low in the left corner. Quickly back up top. Beaumont on the left half board now. Walks it. Passes down low for DeWolf. All the way back up top. Trischuk. Leaves it for Pochard now. Top of the right circle. Pochard. Now for Winkleman. He's got it right circle. Back up top. Pochard in the middle. Stick handles. Wants to go to Beaumont left side. Emmett Worst breaks that one up. And it will come out to neutral ice here. Winkleman's got it quickly for Lawrence as they transition back in. Gets around one man, but loses the puck at the bottom of the right circle. And Evan Pejos will drive that one all the way down the ice with a minute gone in the power play here. Both teams changing personnel. Now from behind the net, coming out with it here is Valdez. Passes it ahead on the left wing and now gets dropped back for Look. Ethan Look dumps it into the St. Scholastica zone. Junker played that around the left wing boards. It does come out to neutral ice. And Valdez will back it up. Now passes ahead for Ethan Look with speed up the right wing. Look across the line. He centers. Kimball intercepts. Look knocks down the clearing attempt. And we're going to get a whistle and a hand pass will be the call. With 24 seconds remaining in the power play for Lawrence. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go here in this first period. No score. St. Scholastica controlling the faceoff. Kimball banks it off the right wing boards and clears. That's going to come all the way back down the ice. Ethan Johnson picks it up in his own zone. Picks up speed through center, then drops it off for a defenseman. But that one forcing his defenseman to curl the opposite direction, and that'll do it for the penalty. Speeding up the boards now into the zone. Valdez takes a shot from a sharp angle. Edstrom will make the save, and then he'll cover that one up. And we'll have a face-off here in the St. Scholastica zone. No shots on goal on that power play for Lawrence. 3:48 to play first period. Brzezicki from behind the net centers for Lawrence. It comes all the way up to the line. The shot by Johnson. They score! Jaden Jensen with the shot from the right point. It gets through traffic and beats goaltender Kate Nedstrom. And Lawrence will score first. It's 1-0. .16:20 the time of the goal. In the neutral zone, it's going to be dumped in by Brzezicki. Excuse me. Wyatt Worst will come back behind the net here for St. Scholastica. Passes it ahead for Kennett on the right wing. He dumps it in.
For Lawrence University was number 2, Jaden Jensen. He got an assist from number 23, Adam Brzezicki, and number 8, Hunter Bill. That's Jensen.
So Brzezicki and Bill get the assist on the goal by Jaden Jensen. his second of the season, and it's 1-0 Lawrence here late in the opening period. Puck is behind the Lawrence goal right now. Pochard tries to clear that one, couldn't. Now he's just going to skate it ahead. Feeds Winkleman on the right wing. And that was offside again as Winkleman kind of held up just outside the blue line. And ended up drawing Fadiv offside. So we'll have a face-off coming here outside the St. Scholastica blue line. At center, Declan Young gets stepped into, but he was able to get it into the Lawrence zone. Vikings clear right back out. Now it's going to be played back into the Lawrence zone again. Townsend's pass is going to miss everybody and come the distance, but icing waved off. Kimball behind his own net for St. Scholastica. His pass is going to be broken up now, and this is Jensen again, 2-on-1. Jensen with the shot save is made. Rebound was there, and Edstrom makes the save on that one as well. Jensen was looking for his second goal in the last minute. Now across the line, the other direction, St. Scholastica with it. Pass is going to be broken up. And carrying it ahead is Ethan Look. Under 2 minutes to go here in this first period. 1-0 Lawrence leading in the first game of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. On the right wing in the St. Scholastica zone. Schwartzhoff takes a long shot. That catches traffic in front. Clearing attempt comes to the line. It's going to hop over the stick of Trischuk and come to neutral ice. Lawrence quickly back on the attack, however. This is Beaumont dropping it back to the high slot. That pass doesn't connect, and it comes into the neutral zone where Lawrence will regroup. Hayden Johnson loses his footing and the puck. St. Scholastica will regain control, and they'll send it down into, Lawrence rather gets it back and sends it in. Saints clear it back into the neutral zone. Backing up with it here. Evan Eisenstark passes that one ahead, and Robertson will dump it in. Now a quick shot turned from fire from the right circle. That one by Denis, and that's kicked away by Edstrom. Puck is flipped back into the neutral zone, and it comes down in Lawrence territory. Eisenstark gets away from the forecheck, playing it backward. On the right wing side now, this is Pochard. He passes that one ahead. Denis tied up just as he got the puck across the St. Scholastica line. Denis again, that's not going to go. And now this is Jensen the other way. Jaden Jensen backhands that into the St. Scholastica zone. 25 seconds to play in the opening period. Panzer gets knocked off the puck in the neutral zone. It's flipped back down into St. Scholastica territory, but now Pejo's back the other way. Evan Pejo's across the line, tried to dangle around the defenseman, but it was calmly poke-checked by Trischuk. And back the other way come the Vikings from the neutral zone. DeWolf dumps it in. Edstrom out, plays it around the left wing side, and the Saints will clear to neutral ice as the buzzer sounds, bringing this first period to its conclusion. Lawrence with a really good surge to start the period. And then kind of fell into a little bit of a lull. St. Scholastica owned the middle 10 minutes of the period before in the last 5. It's almost as if Lawrence got a little bit of momentum following a good penalty kill. And then they were able to get the only goal on the board at 16:20. Jaden Jensen, his second of the season. Long wrister from the blue line that got through some traffic and got behind Caden Edstrom. And that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. First period of the books at Westman Arena in Superior. First period of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. And the home team on the scoreboard, Lawrence, has a 1-0 lead over St. Scholastica. We'll take a quick break, and we will come back with our first intermission programming, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated after this. This is the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network.
with me today. We're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh. Specific answer. They're learning quick. Can we Google it? Whatever. Okay. He's a quick study.
There's so many words I want to say. Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
I see a lot of just my friends vaping, and I see it like I hear about middle schoolers, high schoolers, elementary schoolers just vaping, and I just don't understand how such young people can get into such like an addictive substance, how they can just throw away time, money, health for what, nicotine? It really just doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like when I see my friends vaping and talking about how they spent this much money and how they've gone through this many vapes this week, just like really, it doesn't give me a positive outlook for them in the future if they can just get into such habits at such a young age.
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick. Like the boss with a new footlong cookie. This might be my favorite sidekick ever. What?
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Find your passion. Find your people. Find your purpose. Find your superior.
Vaping has almost become like an obsession addiction. It's got to be where I know where it is. If I leave, I have to have it with me. I guess the term would be I'm jonesing for it, the nicotine out of it. Never do it, to never even try it, because once you try it, it's like an addiction, and it kind of takes over your personality, that type of addiction.
Ah, there it is. I'm not very smart sometimes. So, Jesus. I hit the wrong button. Technology is tricky sometimes. We're back here at Westman Arena, a couple minutes away from the start of the second period. Lawrence with a 1-0 lead over St. Scholastica in the opening game of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. How did we get to this point? It was Jaden Jensen scoring his second goal of the season, an unassisted goal. Originally there were a couple of assists on the play, but both of those assists have since been revoked. And it is an unassisted goal as Jensen was able to hold the zone at the St. Scholastica blue line and take a long shot that I couldn't tell if it hit traffic in front or, off of a Saints player or a Lawrence player, but it ends up getting past goaltender Caden Edstrom. Second of the season for Jensen at 16-20, so that was late in that opening period. And that's where we stand after 20, a 1-0 lead for Lawrence. Shots on goal in that first period. Lawrence had 7 and St. Scholastica had 6. The Saints were called for the only penalty of that opening period. Lawrence 0 for 1 on the power play. Lawrence coming into this contest with a record of 1-7 overall. The one victory came on November 1st as they defeated UW River Falls 4-2 on the road at River Falls. The Falcons winning the opening game 7-1. And then Lawrence bouncing back to take that Saturday contest and split the series. They have, however, since then lost 6 consecutive games, all of them in NCHA play. On the other side, St. Scholastica coming in today at 3-3-1. Haven't been able to string any kind of a win streak together so far. They did win their last outing, defeating Augsburg 4-1 on the road last Saturday. And if they can win today, it'd be their first 2-game win streak of the campaign. 5-on-5 hockey to start here in this second period. Excuse me. Caden Edstrom making 6 saves for St. Scholastica in the first period. And they are the white sweaters. They will be going from left to right across your computer screen or your mobile device, however you are tuning into the game here this afternoon. First game of the Superior Showdown. Game 2 will come up at 7:30. Featuring the hosts from UW Superior and the University of Dubuque. Gunderson on the right wing for St. Scholastica throws it into the Lawrence zone. Pochard along the end board, tied up there by Hunter Hansen. Puck is worked up to the blue line, but not out. Now Pochard again will curl back behind his net this time. It's moved up onto the left wing boards, out into the neutral zone. Saints play it back in, but now Pochard will carry it back out. He went to flip it into the zone, but didn't get enough on it. Wyatt Wurst feeds it to the right side for Pejos. Up the middle for Hansen. Over to the left wing, Cumming. He tries to play that one to the front of the net for Gunderson, but it was tipped by the defense. Now Fadiv has it here for Lawrence. Drops it back for Pochard. He'll start up the left wing before throwing it backward. Ethan Look's got it now. Look for Trischuk. Ahead on the left wing across the St. Scholastica line. Look's drop pass is going to be picked off. Riley Giroux back the other way. Moves it in the middle for Panzer. Panzer has it hop off his stick at the last moment. Now Pejo is able to hold at the right point. Penalty coming up here as they're going to get Ethan Look for holding the stick. And the first power play of the day for St. Scholastica will commence here momentarily. As Pejos was trying in vain to pull his stick away from Look. But to no avail. Time of the penalty, 1:29 of the second period. First power play for St. Scholastica. They come into the game today at 18.2%. 4 goals and 22 opportunities. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lawrence has struggled on the PK, 66.7%, having allowed 9 power play goals in 27 chances. Wurst has it here at the right point. He walks it to the middle. Now for Panzer in the right circle. Back up top for Wyatt Wurst to Panzer, right circle. Throws it across to the left circle. It's going to go off of a skate there and back the other way now. Hayden Johnson for Lawrence across the St. Scholastica line. A long shot from the right wing, kicked away by Edstrom. Panzer will come back on the attack. Panzer up the right wing. Tried to feed that to Pejos at the right point, but it was picked off, and Hayden Johnson sends it all the way down. Lawrence will change. They got their forwards changed up front. St. Scholastica has made a couple of changes as well. Hunter Hansen has it poked off his stick in the neutral zone. Starting it back the other way, Eisenstark, and he'll play it deep. Wyatt Worst behind his net. All-American defenseman as a freshman last year. Wyatt Worst carries it ahead to center across the red line. Into the Lawrence zone, feeds it into the slot for Cummings. His behind-the-back pass intercepted. And Jaden Jensen will send that all the way down the ice. McCarthy behind his goal. Leaves it back there, now gets it back as Junker fed him on the left wing. His pass ahead for Cumming, picked off. And Lawrence will send that all the way back down as we pass the 3-minute mark of period number 2. 1-0 Lawrence with the lead. St. Scholastica 20 ticks of the power play remaining. Gunderson crosses the red line and dumps it hard into the Lawrence zone. It comes behind the goal. Lawrence will intercept, and they'll fire that all the way down the ice once again. Really good penalty kill here for Lawrence, because they didn't allow St. Scholastica much opportunity to even set up in the offensive zone. Junker across the red line. Penalized player is back on. Junker wraps that around to the right wing side. Uvis Yarvi for St. Scholastica. Goes down the right wing boards, but Lawrence will come back with the puck, and they turn it over. Second attempt does flip out to neutral ice, and it comes all the way down into the St. Scholastica zone. In the left circle now, this is Look. Knocked off the play by Kimball. Wraparound attempt right side of the net. The save is made by Edstrom, as Cloutier with the wraparound attempt for the Vikings is denied at the right post. Now Cloutier on the right half board takes the shot, stick save Edstrom, rebound off the end boards, comes bouncing back into the left circle, and back the other direction now come the Saints. It's turned over there and driven back in by Eisenstark. On the right wing boards in the St. Scholastica zone, playing it ahead Kennett. Now for Uvis Yarvi across the line. Jan Uvis Yarvi shot from the left circle, and the save made by Owen Carlson. First save of the period for him. Kennett behind the Lawrence goal. Throws that one into the slot. It's going to be intercepted there, and Ethan looked back the other way for Lawrence. Throws that ahead on the backhand. It's on net. Edstrom makes the save. Icing negated. And now back the other way. This is Kennett behind the defense. Kennett right circle. Takes the shot. Glove save made by Carlson. He'll hold on, as Carlson kind of offered up that glove side and then throws the leather up to make the stop. And we're going to get a face-off coming up here in the Lawrence zone at 15:06 to go here in the second period. 1-0 Lawrence. An unassisted goal by Jaden Jensen late in the first period. The goal that's on the board right now. Right wing corner, Lawrence zone. Vikings come away with it here, and it's carried to center by Winkleman now. Winkleman passes it to the front of the net. Yarvi picks it off. He tried to clear the zone, but the Vikings hold as Townsend plays it deep. Fadiv now right wing corner, tied up there. DeWolf in there to help out. He's tied up a Yarvi. Puck worked free. Fadiv for Lawrence. Slides that one up to the right point. Rink wide feed over to the left. Townsend takes a shot that hits a skate in front. Clearing attempt by Giroux is held in. Now Riley Giroux for St. Scholastica gets it to neutral. Townsend sidesteps the check. The loose puck taken by Winkleman, and he dumps it in. Puck is back in the right wing corner. St. Scholastica zone. As we near the 6-minute mark of this second period, 1-0, Lawrence has the lead. Shot from the right point hits traffic in front. Eisenstark with a wrister from the left point is going to be kicked away by Edstrom. Now it comes back up top. Long shot tipped in front, save made. Edstrom, big rebound was there, but the Saints able to clear it away from trouble. Held in at the right point, now it's turned over, and back the other way, St. Scholastica. This is Hahn feeding it over. Emmett Worst has his shot broken up in traffic. Vikings regaining control here with Eisenstark. Eisenstark feeds for Schwartzoff. He passes ahead, it's tipped in, but Wyatt Worst breaks it up and it comes right back out. Pejo's behind his net now, will pick up speed. Carries it ahead on the left wing. Dangles it to the middle. That looked offside, but they say play on. Long shot by Pejos. Save made by Carlson. And back the other way now comes Lawrence. In the neutral zone, it's taken by Hunter Bill, and he'll dump it in. Pejos loses the handle on it, but it comes right to Cumming, and he plays it ahead to center. Up to Hunter Hansen, right wing. He tips it in. Trischuk for Lawrence is going to come right back on the attack. Ducks around a check, loses it at the last second. Vikings stay on side, however. Now the puck cleared out. And from center ice, Hayden Johnson dumps it in. Right wing corner, St. Scholastica zone. Beaumont's centering attempt isn't going to go. And the Saints are going to play that the other direction. It's going to come all the way down, and that'll be an icing call on St. Scholastica with 12:26 remaining here in this second period. Shots 12-8 favoring Lawrence, and the Vikings have the 1-0 lead. Ethan looked to take the face-off for Lawrence. He'll do the honors of Andrew Cumming. Cumming wins the draw, and the Saints will clear that all the way back down, and it'll be another icing call. .12:17 remaining here in the second period. 1-0 Lawrence. Opening game of the 8th annual Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. Trischuk from the left point takes the shot off the draw. That's going to go wide of the mark. Wyatt Worst throws his man to the ice. Getting up slowly and going off Valdez. On the left wing boards now, it's played behind the net. Look tied up. In to help out Winkleman. He loses his footing. Puck comes up the boards. Now it's played back down low. Winkleman throws that one out front. Fanning on the one-timer was Cloutier, and back the other way comes St. Scholastica. Hunter Hansen across the line. Tried to feather a pass through for Giroux, but that one broken up nicely by the defense. Now Panzer intercepts a clearing pass, and that one goes wide of the net. Winkleman wraps that around the right side. It's going to be held in the zone and played down low. Centering pass out front. Pejos with a quick shot right circle. And a glove save is made there by Carlson. He's going to hang on. Phase off to Carlson's left, controlled by St. Scholastica. Kimball at the right point. Over to Junker, left point, a shot, and the save made by Carlson. He'll hold on once again. Now some pushing and shoving once again near the Lawrence goal. We'll do it again to the right of goaltender Owen Carlson, who just made his 11th save of the afternoon. Lawrence controlling the faceoff. Winkleman moves it ahead to center. DeWolf on the right wing drives it in. Edstrom out of the net. Feeds it over for Kimball. Quickly it comes back around the boards. Up the left wing for Kroon. Rink wide feet on the right. Rieltz across the Lawrence line. Has his shot blocked. Rieltz gets it back. Couldn't settle the bouncing puck down. Now he's got it left wing corner. Puck comes loose. And right out in front of the net, so Carlson will drop down and put the glove on top of that. And we'll have a face-off here in the Lawrence zone, as we slowly make our way toward the midway point of this hockey game. Right off the face-off, the pass across the goal mouth by Emmett Worst broken up. Junker at the left point now holds it in and walks it to the right for St. Scholastica. His pass picked off. Eisenstark will send it back the other way now. Eisenstark to Hunter Bill on the right wing. Back to Eisenstark. Puck ends up in the right wing corner. Bill has it here. Eisenstark now. Tried to center. That one doesn't connect. McCarthy on the left wing for St. Scholastica. Feeds it ahead for Kimball. Kimball across the Lawrence line. Lawson Kimball on the left wing side, passes it behind the net. Kennett's got it there, back to Kimball. Up top, Junker, the one-timer. That one gets blocked. It'll be cleared into the neutral zone by Denis. Emmett Worst back the other way for St. Scholastica. Nifty move, gets around the defense, drives it to the net. Save made. Carlson, rebound is there. Sharp angle shot. That's going to be stopped by Carlson as well. Now behind the net. McCarthy for St. Scholastica. Up top, right point, Hahn. Hahn has his pocket picked and carrying it back the other way to center, Brzezicki. He'll cross the red line and dump it into the St. Scholastica zone. Now it's picked up by Hahn inside his own line. He cuts to the middle. Throws it over for McCarthy on the left wing boards, and he sends it into the Lawrence zone. On the right wing half board here, Uvis Järvi passes it down below the goal line. Centering pass is going to be deflected. Comes all the way to the right wing side for Hahn. Now, Declan Young, right circle, a shot. That doesn't go. Hahn behind the Lawrence net, comes out the left side, gets it up top. Uvis Järvi carries it down to the right corner. He gets knocked off the puck there. Declan Young for St. Scholastica, right wing board. Right wing corner, he's upended, and that's going to be a penalty here on Lawrence, as they are going to get Hayden Johnson for tripping. And St. Scholastica will get its second power play of the second period. 11:01 the time of the penalty. St. Scholastica, the defending champions of this event, defeating the hosts UW Superior last year. I mentioned this is the 8th tournament. Has not been kind to the hosts from UW Superior. They've only won it once. St. Scholastica has won it once. Trinity has won it once. And then Marion has won it 4 times. St. Scholastica 0 for 1 on the power play. They will start it off with a face-off to the left of goaltender Owen Carlson. If you missed it in the pregame, each team's goaltender making his first appearance of the campaign in this one here this afternoon. Second ticked off the clock on that false start, so they'll hold it for a tick, and now they'll start the clock. Face-off controlled here by St. Scholastica, coming on the left side. Up top for Junker. He'll walk it to his left and throw it deep. Gunderson, the left side of the net. His pass tipped, but not out of the zone. Gunderson, left wing corner. Takes a sharp angle shot, misses high, and that will get up into the netting. And we'll have another face-off here in the Lawrence zone. 20 seconds elapsed in this second power play opportunity for St. Scholastica. 8 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the second period. 1-0 Lawrence. That goal late in the first period holding up thus far. Coming for St. Scholastica. Up to the left point. Junker. Now to McCarthy. Back over to Cumming, top of the left circle. His shot gets blocked. McCarthy, Junker at the right point, walks it to his left. Takes the shot through traffic. That catches a body in front, and Lawrence will clear that one. Quickly try to change some personnel. They get their forwards off the ice. Junker for St. Scholastica feeds McCarthy on the left wing. Gets dumped into the Lawrence zone. It's going to hop over the stick of Pochard down low. It's moved up to the right point. Junker holds. Lawrence will steal and clear, but they can't get it all the way down as Junker bats it out of the air. Pejo's on the right. His pass intercepted. Another one gets knocked out of the air. And finally, it's going to be dumped in by Brzezicki. Pejo's now starts it ahead on the right wing. Throws that one over to the left side. Shot taken by McCarthy, misses the net high. Pejos holds the zone on the right wing. Passes it down for Kroon. Wyatt Wurst to Cumming in the slot. Kroon, his shot gets blocked. Pejos has it again. In the middle for Wyatt Wurst. Back to Pejos' right point. They'll trade places. Wyatt Wurst has it now. Feeds it off for Panzer in the right circle. 15 to go in the power play. Shot by Wurst, tipped in front, loose right side of the net. That shot blocked. It rolls in toward the net, but Carlson can't get a glove on it now. Over to the left circle, one-timer. That gets blocked in front. Wyatt Wurst in the right circle. Stick handles. Takes the shot. And a glove save made by Carlson. And he'll hold on to it with 1 second remaining in the power play. 7 minutes to go here in period number 2. Shots 15-12, St. Scholastica. They had no shots on net during their first power play opportunity, but have been able to get a lot more pucks through here in this second chance. Saints win the face-off. Hahn turns it over at the right point and back the other way now. This is Beaumont for Lawrence across the line. Right circle. Beaumont takes the shot. He scores! Tipped in front. As Beaumont stick handle, drew the defender over. And I'm waiting for the huddle to break up to see who got that shot off the post. It's going to be Hayden Johnson. So right after Lawrence kills off the penalty, they come down the ice and capitalize, taking advantage of the defenseman Hahn falling down. And Beaumont with a nice play. Feeds it across, and Hayden Johnson at the left post taps it in. Time of the goal, 13-11. Second of the year for Hayden Johnson. Lawrence gets the puck down in the St. Scholastica zone. Junker has it here. Throws it up the right wing. Gunderson, he couldn't handle the pass. Lawrence regaining control. On the right wing, Beaumont tips it into the St. Scholastica zone.
Well, for Lawrence University was number 19, Hayden Johnson. He got an assist from number 10, Ethan Johnson, and number 91, Ethan Beaumont.
So Ethan Johnson also getting an assist on that goal. The puck is behind the Lawrence net now. Eisenstark tried to play that up the right wing boards. It's not going to go out of the zone. Now Look has it here for Lawrence. Passes that one ahead. Driving toward that with the puck, Valdez. He was beat up a little bit earlier. Came off the ice, hobbled, but is back on. Looking none the worse for the wear at this point. Junker now for St. Scholastica goes to clear, knocked out of the air, and it's held in the zone. Look on the right wing. Tried to center for Cloutier, but that doesn't go. Look again now, feeds it high slot. Quick shot, they score! Alexei Trischuk snaps the shot low on the stick side past Edstrom. And Lawrence's lead is 3. I'm guessing Look and Cloutier will get the assist on the goal by Trischuk. His first. And Lawrence scoring twice in the span of 38 seconds has opened up a 3-goal lead.
7, Alexei Trischuk. He got an assist from number 9, Ethan Look, and number 15, Carter Cloutier.
All right, so Look and Cloutier getting the assists on that goal, and Lawrence with a 3-0 lead here. 5 minutes to play in the second period. Wyatt worse than the neutral zone for St. Scholastica plays it in. Kroon on the left wing. His pass is going to be intercepted, and Fadiv carries it the other way. Slides it ahead for Winkleman right wing. Winkleman carries behind the St. Scholastica net. Has a stick all over him. He'll throw that one across on the right wing side now. Schwartzoff with a sharp angle shot that just misses. Eisenstark from the left point for Lawrence. They lead 3-0. Tied up by Giroux. Loose puck comes up to the blue line. Walking it to the middle now. This is Winkleman, a long shot. And the save is made by Edstrom. He'll hold on. And a face-off coming up here in the St. Scholastica zone. Face-off controlled by Lawrence. Eisenstark from the left point has his shot go wide. Hahn has it taken away from him. The puck is in the right corner. Now play behind the St. Scholastica net. Cumming comes out with it here and slides it ahead. Hunter Hansen with speed across the Lawrence line. Hansen right circle, carries it around the net, throws it right into the goal crease. Goes off of a stick and then sprawling out and covering that one up is Carlson. And we have a face-off coming and a penalty coming as well. The referee Brett Klazowski signals hooking is going to be the call. It looks like it's going to be on Lawrence. Luke Robertson going to the box. Time of the penalty 15:54. Third consecutive power play in this second period for St. Scholastica. They need their power play to come through here. They trail 3-0. They win the faceoff, but Lawrence is Hayden Johnson with the steal, and he gets it into the neutral zone. Wyatt Worst now in the neutral zone, coughs it up, and it'll be sent back down by Josh Denis. Now Pejos for St. Scholastica up the left wing, comes into the Lawrence zone. Pejos circles behind the net. Pejos carries it all the way up to the right point, feeds it over for Wyatt Worst. Wyatt Worst stick handles for Panzer on the right side. Back up top for Wyatt Worst. Over now left circle, Hansen, a shot save made by Carlson. And Lawrence will get enough on that to clear it into St. Scholastica territory. Minute 15 left in the power play. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the second. 3-0 Lawrence leading. Opening game of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. Pejos on the left side, up top for Worst. Feeds over for Panzer in the right circle, but he whiffs on the one-timer and pushes it wide. Hunter Hansen now on the left wing side. Over to the right circle for Panzer. Up top for Worst. Back for Hansen. Panzer in the right circle. Walks it into the slot. Drops it off now for Kroon. Up top for Worst. Panzer right circle, a one-timer. That gets blocked in front. Panzer again carries behind the goal. Pejos in the left corner. Now he walks it to the high slot with a half minute left in the power play. Pejos right circle. Up top, Wyatt Worst. Takes the shot through traffic, and the save is made by Carlson. Puck comes up the right wing side, and that's going to be sent all the way down the ice by Schwartzoff. Ekstrom quickly plays that one back the other way. In the left circle now. St. Scholastica coughs that one up, and it's going to be sent all the way down the ice by Denis. Final seconds will tick off the power play here, and the Saints turn it over now. Denis in the left circle has it taken from him by Wyatt Worst, who broke up the pass, and it comes back to neutral, but the Vikings get it right back. On the right wing side now, stick handle. The shot is going to get blocked as Denis tried to sneak that one through. In the neutral zone. It comes down to the left wing corner. Sent back up top. This is Kimball. Kimball behind the net. For McCarthy, right corner. That one doesn't connect. Now McCarthy does have it right wing corner, Lawrence zone. Centering feed as they tried to find Riles coming down the slot. That's picked off. And the puck is going to be moved ahead. In the neutral zone, that should be an offside call. And they finally do blow the whistle on that with 1:12 to play here. In this second period. Shots 12-8 in this second period, favoring St. Scholastica. Have an edge of 19-15 for the game. With just over a minute to play in the second, it's 3-0 Lawrence. Kimball in his own zone, passes it ahead to center. Giroux for Kennett on the right wing. Ty Kennett loses control of the puck. Trischuk, who has the most recent goal for Lawrence, rifles it down low. It's going to be played back around behind the net. Trischuk tries to clear on the right wing side this time, but it doesn't go. Puck worked free. DeWolf behind his net for Lawrence, unable to clear the zone. Now puck kicks into the slot. That's going to be broken up. And it's going to be carried to center. Ben Winkleman dumps it into the St. Scholastica zone. It's played up the left side, but Lawrence regaining control. Fadiv with the high slot shot and a save made by Edstrom. Centering pass from the right side, gets tipped into the high slot. Long shot taken from the line, and the buzzer will sound. Bringing the second period to a conclusion. A really good period for Lawrence, despite the fact they got outshot. They pop a pair of goals just 22 seconds apart. Hayden Johnson, his second of the season at 13-11, made it 2-0. And then 22 seconds later at 14:33, Alexei Trischuk with the long shot that got past Edstrom on the stick side. And after 40 minutes of play, Lawrence has a 3-0 lead over St. Scholastica. It's the opening game of the 2025 Superior Showdown. Lawrence leads 3-0. We'll take a break and come back with our second intermission, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, right after this. This is the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network. We're back at Westman Arena in Superior. It's the second intermission sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. And after 40 minutes of play here in the opening game of the 2025 Superior Showdown, Lawrence has a 3-0 lead over St. Scholastica. The Saints, the defending champions of this event, having upended the hosts from UW Superior last year. And they find themselves down 3-0 after 40 minutes. Jaden Jensen opening the scoring at 16:20 of the first period, taking a long shot from the blue line that got through some traffic. I believe it was deflected on its way to the goal. His second of the season made it 1-0 Lawrence after one. In the second period, they extended the lead at 13-11. Hayden Johnson scoring his second of the season. Ethan Johnson and Ethan Beaumont getting the assist. This came right at the tail end, right at the conclusion of a St. Scholastica power play. It was defenseman Matthew Hahn who had the puck at the line. He fell down, and that essentially created the 2-on-1 for Lawrence going back the other way. And Beaumont held the puck in the right circle before sliding a pass right through the goal mouth to the left post. And it was banged home there by Johnson, his second at 13-11. That made it 2-0, and then they extended the lead again at 14:33. Alexei Trischuk scoring his first goal of the season, holding the puck in the offensive zone at the blue line and just taking a nice wrist shot from out high. They got past goaltender Caden Edstrom on the stick side, his first. Ethan Look and Carter Cloutier had the assists. And that's where we stand here after 40 minutes. Lawrence with a 3-0 lead over St. Scholastica. Shots on goal in the second period. The Saints had 13 for a two-period total of 19, and Lawrence had 9 for a two-period total of 16. Of those 13 shots for St. Scholastica, more than a third, 5 of them coming on the power play. Penalties in the game so far. Lawrence has taken 3 penalties for 6 minutes, all of them in the second period. And St. Scholastica has taken 1 penalty for 2 minutes. Both teams scoreless on the power play. The Saints in 3 chances and Lawrence in 1. Caden Edstrom will defend the goal to our right in the third period for St. Scholastica. So far in the game, he has made 13 stops. At the other end, 19 saves for Owen Carlson. He will defend the goal to our left. Game 2 of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway, will come your way at 7:30 here tonight at Westman Arena. The hosts from UW Superior will be taking on the University of Dubuque. That game will be live here on Yellow Jacket TV. And if you are radio inclined, you can hear that on 91.3 KUWS. Lawrence, the home team, and the dark sweaters will be going from left to right across your screen here in the third period, and they control the face-off. Cade DeWolf sends it in on the right side. The puck comes behind the net. The centering pass is going to be intercepted, and Hunter Hansen back the other way for the St. Scholastica Saints. He dumps it into the left wing corner, Lawrence zone. Now it's Fadiv on the left wing. He gets by one man. Cade DeWolf had it, then it's poked off his stick. Gunderson has it for St. Scholastica. Rink-wide feed for Cumming on the left. Cumming across the line. Tried to center it. That one's broken up. He gets it back. Andrew Cumming for St. Scholastica. Sends it up top, right point. Over to Wyatt Worst. Left point shot hits traffic in front, and that'll end up in the left wing corner. Gunderson now for St. Scholastica. Tried to go down low for Cumming. That's not going to go. Pejos jumps up to try to force the play in the high slot. Meanwhile, Fadiv will take that puck and dumps it into the St. Scholastica zone. Pejos on the right side. Passes it ahead for Panzer. That one's going to be broken up. Riley Giroux for St. Scholastica sends it into the Lawrence zone from the red line. And Ethan Look back the other way for Lawrence. Look from the left wing takes a shot that goes over the top of the goal. The puck comes back the other way quickly now with Panzer across the line. Panzer with a shot. That one gets deflected. And that will go up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off here in the Lawrence zone. 18:37 remaining here in this third period. 3-0 Lawrence leading St. Scholastica. It's been a cleanly played and quickly played hockey game thus far. There were only 31 total face-offs through the first 2 periods, which by Division III men's hockey standards is pretty fast. Eisenstark for Lawrence, leaves it along the end boards. Now Ethan Look goes off the left wing boards, and that's going to be deflected and go over the glass and out of play. Face-off will be to Carlson's left. Hasn't been tested overly difficult, or too many difficult shots here so far today, but when needed, he's been there for Lawrence. Ethan Johnson on the right wing sends it down behind the net. Hayden Johnson wrapped up. That's going to be a penalty on St. Scholastica as they're going to get Lawson Kimball. I don't know if it's going to be for interference or what the penalty call will be. Holding is going to be the call. Thank you very much, referee Taylor Vajorik. And it's going to be the second power play of the afternoon for Lawrence. Time of the penalty, 1:53 of the third period. Lawson Kimball for a hold. Lawrence 0 for 1 on the power play so far today. Saints win the face-off. Riley Giroux clears that one all the way down. That took a crazy hop off the boards, almost like it hit somebody hanging off the Lawrence bench or something, because that took a really crazy angle off of the boards. Comes the distance. Carlson is forced to cover and hold on to it, and we'll get the face-off here. To the left of goaltender Owen Carlson. Lawrence winning the face-off. Valdez behind his net. Comes out the left side with it, carries it up the boards, now drops it back. Look over to the right wing. Hayden Johnson, who collided with one of his own players, still able to get it deep. Now Pejo is behind the net, turning it over. Lawrence has control. Hayden Johnson tied up along the end boards by Wyatt Wurst. All three forwards for Lawrence below the goal line. The clearing attempt held on the right wing by Ethan Johnson. Now for Look. Ethan Look walks it to his left. Back to Ethan Johnson. Penalty coming. It's going to be on St. Scholastica in the high slot. Johnson feeds it for Look. Comes over to the slot. The shot taken from the right circle by Cloutier gets blocked. But it's going to be Evan Pejos going to the box for St. Scholastica. This will also be a holding call, as he tied up and took down a Lawrence player in the slot who did not have the puck. Time of that penalty, 2:47. So two-man advantage here for Lawrence, giving them a golden opportunity to really put this one out of reach. Saints win the face-off, and they're going to clear. Hard wrapper on the left wing boards. It comes all the way down. Valdez behind his net. Carries it up ice. Drops it off for Ethan Look. Ethan Johnson. Hayden Johnson on the right side. Back up top. Valdez walks it to his left. Gives in the high slot now for Ethan Johnson. He's got it left circle. Left side of the net, Hayden Johnson out front for Cloutier. They got the look they wanted, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Now to the left of the net, Hayden Johnson again has it swept off his stick by Wyatt Wurst. 25 to go in the two-man advantage here. Ethan Johnson left circle. Leaving it for Hayden Johnson up top. Valdez walks it to the middle. Ethan Johnson left circle. Valdez in the high slot. Takes the shot. He hit the crossbar. Puck goes high in the air and then drops down to the left of the net. Hayden Johnson has it. He's going to feed it up top. Ethan Johnson, top of the left circle. Circles from a checker now. Carries over to the right wing side. First penalized player back on. 50 seconds left in the power play. Left side of the net. Out front on the doorstep, and they score. What nice puck movement that was. And it's going to end up being Ethan Johnson who's going to get the power play goal. .402 the time of the goal. As the puck quickly went from right side to left side, right back into the goal area. And it's the 5th of the season for Ethan Johnson. Assist should be Hayden Johnson and I believe Look. We'll wait for the official announcement on that one. And Lawrence, a 4-0 lead.
Lawrence University was number 10, Ethan Johnson. He got an assist from number 19, Hayden Johnson, and number 15, Carter Cloutier.
Cloutier gets the other assist. That's 2 helpers for him tonight.
Here we go.
Puck is down here in the St. Scholastica zone. Yellow Yarvi carrying it up. It's poked off his stick. Yellow Yarvi again. Or excuse me, that's not Yellow Yarvi. It's Uvis Yarvi. Got my Finnish nationals mixed up there. Puck dumped into the Lawrence zone. Vikings will go to clear. Kenan Riles knocks his man off his skates. That was Hunter Bill. Curling back with the puck here for Lawrence. Eisenstark plays that up the left wing. It's going to get past the defense and come all the way down. Icing waved off. Now the puck played around the left wing side. It comes all the way up to the blue line. And that's going to be flipped back into the offensive zone here by Lawrence. Riles for St. Scholastica. Dropping it off for Junker. Back over to the right side. That's broken up nicely in the neutral zone and played back into Saints territory. Chasing it down here is Winkleman, centering pass out front. That doesn't connect. Puck loose to the top of the goal crease. And St. Scholastica back on the attack at center. Hunter Hansen gives to Gunderson left wing. Back for Hansen, who's got it behind the Lawrence goal. Comes around to the left wing corner. Chasing it down, Gunderson. Puck comes around the boards, and Fadiv for Lawrence will clear that out into the neutral zone. Pejos gets it back. Pejos into the Lawrence zone. A shot whistles over the top of the goal. Now Pochard for Lawrence. Tried to go up the right wing, but the Saints sniffed that one out. Coming behind the goal. Nowhere for him to go. Pochard tries the right side this time, and Winkleman's going to clear. And then we're going to get a stoppage in play. And an offside call on St. Scholastica. Shots 2-0 in this third period favoring Lawrence. They have a 4-0 lead. 13:34 remaining. St. Scholastica controlling it here. McCarthy has got the puck. Over for Wyatt Worst, and he'll lumber in on the left wing. Gets around one man and pokes it down to the corner. Emmett Worst for Wyatt Worst. Puck cleared up the right wing side. McCarthy is able to hold the zone. Jensen, who got the scoring started late in the first period for Lawrence, has it along the end boards. Loose puck going to be picked up here by Lawrence. They play it ahead to center. That pass is going to be behind Ethan Johnson in the neutral zone. Comes all the way down, and it's going to be an icing call on Lawrence. .13:01 remaining. Third period. 4-0 Lawrence with the lead. Riley Giroux for St. Scholastica tries to center. It hits the outside of the net. Ethan Johnson's clearing attempt is picked off. Panzer leaves it in the high slot for Kroon. Ethan Johnson gets it back for Lawrence. He'll pass it in front. Jensen. Over for Trischuk on the left wing, and he passes it ahead for Hayden Johnson. Now Ethan Johnson centers for Beaumont, but he was tied up. And Kroon coming back the other way. Sends it rink wide on the right. Hahn gets around one, then has it poke checked off his stick. Panzer for St. Scholastica has it along the end board here. Wanted Kroon, but Ethan Johnson takes that one away. Panzer gets it back. His pass tipped. Comes up to Yalo-Yarvi at the left point. But Lawrence will break that up and get enough on it to get it to neutral ice. Now Daniel Kroon on the left wing into the Lawrence zone. Sends it down low. Eisenstark passes it behind his net. Taken there by Look. He wraps that around on the left side. Valdez forced to kind of eat it along the boards there. So we now have ourselves a 6-car pileup on the hash marks. It's worked free. Rielt's right wing corner. Ethan Look takes it away from him after intercepting the pass. And back the other way now comes Lawrence. On the right wing, Valdez dumps it into St. Scholastica territory. 11.5 minutes to go here in this third period. 4-0 lead for Lawrence. On the right wing, Cloutier's got it here for Lawrence, and he'll backhand it in. Centering pass by Fadiv from behind the goal isn't going to go, and back the other way now, Junker for St. Scholastica. He crosses the red line on the left wing boards and dumps it in. Puck comes back down behind the Lawrence net as we've passed the 9-minute mark of the third period. 4-0, Lawrence with the lead. Big collision right at the St. Scholastica blue line as Brzezicki and Kimball collided. Long shot by Jensen from the neutral zone goes over the top of the St. Scholastica net. And it's played ahead at center. It's going to split the D and come all the way down. The pass intended for Kennett doesn't connect. And Carlson will cover it up. We'll take a face-off here in the Lawrence zone. Down to 10:35 remaining. Third period, 4-0 Lawrence. St. Scholastica winning the face-off. Kennett had it poked off his stick. Denis flips that one ahead to center now. 2-on-1 developing here. Into the zone they come. A shot taken from the left circle by Hunter Bill. Tipped over the top of the Saints net. From the right point, the puck bounced in toward the goal by Luke Robertson for Lawrence. Robertson able to hold at the right point once again. Edstrom out of his net. Wraps that one around the right side. It comes to the front of the St. Scholastica goal. Wyatt Wurst ahead for Emmett Wurst. Now to McCarthy. McCarthy to Kennett on the right side. Kennett carries behind the Lawrence goal. Has it left wing side. Now for Wyatt Wurst. Comes up top. Pejos. He's chopped down. Play continuing on. Left wing corner. Lawrence zone. And they're going to play that one up ice. It's going to come all the way down. That'll be an icing call on the Vikings, and the faceoff will come back to the... They're going to select the right of goaltender Owen Carlson. 19 saves for him so far in this game. Puck controlled here by the Saints as Hunter Hansen backhands it behind the Lawrence net. Gunderson in the right wing corner. Centers for Hansen. He whiffs on the one-timer. Back the other way now. Hunter Bill. Bill across the red. Dumps it in for Lawrence as they commence a line change here. Hahn behind his net. For Gunderson on the right wing. Passes it to the middle. Yalo-Yarvi has his pocket picked, and back the other way. Beaumont here for Lawrence. On the right wing boards, Beaumont collides with Hahn. Saints do get control and clear. In the neutral zone now, it's controlled here by Lawrence. Schwartzoff carries up the right side. Logan Schwartzoff pushes it to the right wing corner in the St. Scholastica zone. Yalo-Yarvi comes away with the loose puck. Yalo-Yarvi sets up shop behind his net with 8.5 minutes to go here in the third. 4-0 Lawrence. Winner will advance to the championship game tomorrow here at Westman Arena, 7 o'clock face-off. Eisenstark passes it up the right wing, now gets it back in the middle for Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson for Lawrence. Gets knocked off his skates. A good check there by Kimball. Meanwhile, coming back the other way is Cumming. Andrew Cumming weaves around one man, then loses the puck. He gets it back. In the right wing corner, Cummings' pass is blocked. Eisenstark has it here for Lawrence. He's tied up by Kroon. Giroux behind the net. Centering pass, that's not going to click, and it comes back to neutral ice. Junker will back it up. Fires over for Kimball on the right side, and he dumps it in. Pochard leaves it behind the net for Eisenstark. Now ahead, Valdez tips it. Looking for a look. That's not going to go. Eisenstark at the red line. Left wing point sends it in. Loose puck behind the St. Scholastica net now. Losing the handle on that one was Cloutier. It slides up top. Pochard for a look. He's got it right circle. Centering feed tips. Save made by Edstrom. Rebound picked up by Jensen. Centering pass. That one's broken up. Now a backhand shot save is made there by Edstrom, and the Saints are going to be content to clear it out as we pass the 13-minute mark of the third period. Lawrence leading 4-0. Cloutier on the right wing. Dishes it ahead for Look. Sharp angle shot there taken by Valdez. Catches traffic in front. McCarthy on the left wing. Passes that one into the middle now, and Kennett dumps it down into the Lawrence zone. Jensen's got it for Lawrence. To Fadiv on the right wing, who moves it ahead at center now. Fadiv in a foot race with Worst. Fadiv has it. Fadiv fires, and the save is made by Edstrom. As Fadiv with a really nice play to lift the stick of the defender to get the puck and slide past. Coming in as a left shot on the right wing. He pulls it to the middle. Fake to his backhand, went to his forehand and tried to go 5-hole. But Edstrom up to the task, making the difficult save. Keeps it at 4-0. Face-off will be in the St. Scholastica zone to the right of goaltender Caden Edstrom. 6:21 remaining here, a third period. 4-0 Lawrence. The Vikings on the verge of advancing to the championship game of the Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway. St. Scholastica will be whistled for icing. Face-off will come back down into the Saints zone again, this time to the left of Edstrom. Clearing attempt held in by the Vikings. Winkleman centers from behind the net. That's going to come right up the slot. And Young will carry it back the other way. Declan Young, rink wide feed to the right for Wyatt Worst. It's poke checked away from him and comes all the way back down. Icing waved off as out of the net Edstrom. Over to Pejos on the right. Now up the middle. Uvis Yarvi carries into the Lawrence zone on the left wing. Tried to carry that one down low, but it was poked off his stick. In the right wing corner, Declan Young centers. Carlson breaks it up with the goal stick and slaps it right back into the right corner. Now back the other way for Lawrence. This is going to be Winkleman. Winkleman one-on-one with Wyatt Worst, and the big strong defenseman for the Saints knocks his man off the play. And back the other way come the Saints, Declan Young. That pass is going to come the other direction. Now Rialt's behind the D, gets the shot away, and the save is made by Carlson. I thought Carlson was going to come out and play it, but he elected not to. Puck dumped back down into the St. Scholastica zone. Yellow Yarvi there. Gets knocked off his skates. A good check. Puck tipped in front, and that one just misses wide. The shot coming from the blue line by Schwartzhoff was redirected in front. Brzezicki's deflection just wide. Now at the right point, a shot tipped in front again. Edstrom makes the save. And there's going to be some pushing and shoving, cross-checking and wrestling going on. Andrew Cumming ripping the helmet off the Lawrence player. Very unhappy with everything going on. I would imagine both he and Hunter Bill are going to go to the box. There's going to be a couple each way, maybe. Time of these penalties, 15:07 of the third period. Hunter Bill is in the box for Lawrence. St. Scholastica's Andrew Cumming in the box. And now another Lawrence player going in. Ethan Johnson. So the result will be a St. Scholastica power play, it appears. 5-on-4. Fourth time with the man advantage here for the Saints today. They got the penalty up on the wrong side. Now they've got it. As play will continue on here. Pejo's in the left corner. Up top for Hunter Hansen, left point. Throws that one into the middle here. Wyatt Worst. Back to Hunter Hansen. In the high slot looking for Panzer. That's not going to connect, and it'll go all the way down the ice. Wyatt Worst ahead on the right wing for Hansen. Broken up by Pochard. Kroon at the right point, pokes that one down low. Excuse me. Panzer to Kroon, right circle. Wyatt Worst, right point. Pejo's top of the left circle. Walks it to the middle now. Sends that one over to the right wing side. Panzer. Kroon right side of the net, back in the slot. Panzer at a redirection, and that one's going to be broken up in traffic. Now Hansen. Up top, left point Worst. Right point Pejo's. He takes the shot. Save is made. Rebound is there. Hansen throws it into the goal crease, and that one's going to get cleared away from trouble. Now it comes all the way up to Pejo's, who holds the zone right point. It's carried down the boards. Behind the net, Pejo's. Up top, Wyatt Worst at the left point. Walks it to the middle. Hansen, top of the left circle, takes the shot. Glove save made. That'll be held on by Carlson with 25 seconds left in the power play. 3:08 remaining here. In the third period, Lawrence with the 4-0 lead. And they're getting closer to advancing to the championship game tomorrow at 7 o'clock, where they would take on the winner of UW Superior and Dubuque. Junker at the left point. Throws it over now. McCarthy, right circle, a shot. Save made. Carlson, rebound. Puck loose, top of the goal crease. And Lawrence will send that all the way down. Junker from behind his net. Passes it ahead for Gunderson on the right. He'll dump it into the Lawrence zone. It comes harder on the boards, left wing side. McCarthy tied up on the hash marks. Penalized player is back on, so we are back to 5 skaters apiece. St. Scholastica now 0 for 4 on the power play. Ethan Johnson carries it ahead for Lawrence on the left wing. He crosses the St. Scholastica line, goes behind the net, loses the puck, loses his footing as well, and Riley Giroux has it here for the Saints. Feeds Gunderson on the right wing. That one broken up and now back the other way. Comes Lawrence. Cloutier couldn't handle that pass. Carrying it to center. Kimball. He loses it to Valdez. who then loses it again, and it's going to be dumped back down into the Lawrence zone. Vikings clear it to center. It's going to be tipped and come all the way down. Kimball behind his net, leaving it for Jalo-Järvi. Now it's going to be played back the other way, and that's going to be an icing call on St. Scholastica. And it looks like Lawson Kimball just got himself a 10-minute misconduct. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. A lot of talking with the official as he felt like he should have drawn a penalty there. A lot of confusion here as there is nobody in the penalty box on the St. Scholastica side, and I thought there was, unless they requested that he leave. Is a player in the Dubuque box, so that kind of leads me to believe that the penalty on Hunter Bill was a double minor, and Johnson was actually just serving one of them. Minute 39 to go here. Long shot taken from the point. Save is made by Edstrom. Rebound played into the left wing corner. Now comes back up top. A long shot from the right point. That's going to miss wide. Jalo-Järvi for St. Scholastica goes to clear. Pochard holds it in at the right point. Now Winkleman centering pass on the doorstep. The shot kicked away by Edstrom. Loose puck at the top of the goal crease. Shot taken there by Fadib, just misses high. Wrapped around. Pochard pitches from the right point to hold, and we have under a minute to play here now in this third period. Townsend wraps that one around. Valdez right wing, up to the left point. Townsend takes the shot. The save is made. The puck is loose. They score on the doorstep. Cloutier bangs it home. 5-0 Lawrence. 19:17 the time of the goal. For Cloutier, that will be his, I believe, his first of the season. Goal and 2 assists for him today. 5-0 lead for Lawrence.
Number 16, Cade DeWolf. He got an assist from number 18, Ben Winkleman, and number 24, Nicholas Townsend.
Okay. So DeWolf gets the goal. I thought it was Cloutier, but they said DeWolf. And for Cade DeWolf, that will be his first of the season. Puck sent down in the Lawrence zone here. Wrapped around by Eisenstark. Rielts holds it in on the left wing. Rielts. It's tied up in the corner. A lot of cross-checking going on in the left corner here. The puck comes free. Pejo's up top. Wyatt Worst with the shot. Carlson makes the save, and then he is going to hold on as the buzzer sounds, bringing this one to a conclusion. For Lawrence, the victory snapping a 6-game winless streak and advancing them to the championship game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Apologize, I'm doing some real quick math here. At any rate, Lawrence with the victory. They will be in the championship game tomorrow at 7 o'clock. St. Scholastica will play in the consolation game tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Quick look at the scoring here at 16:20 of the first period. Lawrence opened the scoring, second of the season for Jaden Jensen. A long shot from the blue line that hit something in front and got past goaltender Caden Edstrom, made it 1-0. Shots on goal in the first period favoring Lawrence at 7-6. In the second period, St. Scholastica had a little more of a territorial advantage and did a little bit better job of generating offense and getting pucks to the net, but every time they did get something close, Owen Carlson was there to make the save. They outshot Lawrence 13-9 in the second period, but Lawrence scoring twice in a span of 22 seconds. Or check that, a minute 22 seconds, my mistake. First goal coming at 13:11. It was the second goal of the season for Hayden Johnson. A really nice rush by Beaumont up the right side, and he feathered a pass from the right side over to the left post, and Johnson just had to redirect it for his second of the season. Ethan Johnson also got an assist on that one. That made it 2-0. That was actually at the end of a power play for St. Scholastica. And at the blue line, Matthew Hahn fell down, lost the puck, and that allowed the rush going back the other way. That resulted in the second goal. It went to 3-0 at 14:33. First goal of the season for Alexei Trischuk. Got the puck up high and just took a shot through traffic. That beat goaltender Edstrom on the stick side. 3-0 Lawrence at that point after 2. Then in the third, a power play goal at 4:02, fifth goal of the season for Ethan Johnson. Some really nice puck movement around the offensive zone, and then in the slot, Johnson got the puck and buried it into an open net. That was at 4:02, and then in the final minute, Lawrence closing out the scoring. First goal of the season for Cade DeWolf. Assist going to Townsend and Ben Winkleman, and that makes the final 5-0. Shots on goal in the third period. St. Scholastica had 9 for a game total of 25. And Lawrence, or had 6, for a game total of 25, while Lawrence had 9, also for a game total of 25. Penalties in the game. Lawrence took 5 penalties for 10 minutes, while St. Scholastica took 5 penalties for 18 minutes. On the power play, Lawrence was 1 for 3. St. Scholastica goes 0 for 4. Owen Carlson got the victory in net tonight. His record is now 1-2 on the season. I made a mistake saying this was his first appearance. He wore a different number today than he had earlier, and so that's what I missed that on the statistics. My apologies to him. But he's now 1-2 and records his first shutout on the season, finishing with 25 saves. At the other end, Caden Edstrom did make his first collegiate appearance here today. His record will fall to 0-1, and he finishes the game with 20 saves. With the win, Lawrence now, as I mentioned, snaps a 6-game losing streak. They are now 2-7 overall on the season. St. Scholastica, with the loss, drops to 3-4-1. The Saints will be in the Consolation Championship tomorrow, 3 o'clock face-off here at Westman Arena, while Lawrence will advance to the championship game, where they will take on the winner of this one. Is coming up here in a few minutes to determine who will be the champion of the 2025 Superior Showdown. Game 2 of the tournament will be coming up here at 7:30. Puck drop 7:30. Pregame show will come your way at 7 o'clock. And will feature the host from the University of Wisconsin Superior against the University of Dubuque. Again, that game will be live here on Yellow Jacket TV as well as on 91.3 KUWS. Holden Law is our tech extraordinaire up here in the press box here this evening for Yellow Jacket TV. For Holden Law, I'm John Garver. Thank you very much for joining us here on this Friday afternoon. Final score again. It's Lawrence with a 5-0 victory over St. Scholastica. The Vikings advancing to the championship game tomorrow here at Westman Arena. Don't go away. In about an hour and a half, Game 2 of the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway, will be coming your way. This has been the 2025 Superior Showdown, sponsored by Subway on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the WIAC Sports Network.